The bed of the hired man. Mary sat musing on the lamp flame at the table, waiting for wine. When she heard the step, she ran on tiptoe down the darkened passage to meet him in the doorway with the news and put him on his guard.
Silas is back.
She pushed him out with her through the door and shut it after her.
Be kind,
she said. She took the market things from Warren's arms and set them on the porch, then drew him down to sit beside her on the wooden steps.
When was I ever anything but kind to him? But I'll not have the fellow back,
he said.
I told him so last king, didn't I? If he left then, I said, that ended it. What good is he? Who else will harbor him at his age for the little he can do? What help he is, there's no depending on. Off he goes always when I need him most. He thinks he ought to earn a little pay, enough at least to buy tobacco with, so he won't have to beg and be beholden. All right, I say. I can't afford to pay any fixed wages, though I wish I could. Someone else can. Then someone else will have to. I shouldn't mind his bettering himself, if that was what it was. You can be certain, when he begins like that, there's someone at him trying to coax him off with pocket money. In haying time, when any help is scarce. In winter, it comes back to us. I'm done.
Shh. Not so loud. He'll hear you.
Mary said.
I want him to. They'll have to, sooner or later.
He's worn out. He's asleep beside the stove. When I came up from Rose, I found him here, huddled against the barn door, fast asleep. A miserable sight and frightening too. You needn't smile. I didn't recognize him. I wasn't looking for him. And he's changed. Wait till you see.
Where did you say he'd been?
He didn't say. I dragged him to the house, gave him tea, tried to make him smoke. I tried to make him talk about his travels. Nothing would do. He just kept nodding on.
What did he say? Did he say anything?
What little?
Anything? Mary, confess. He said he'd come to ditch the meadow for him.
Why?
But did he? I just want to know.
Of course he did. What would you have him say? Surely he wouldn't grudge the poor old man some humble way to save his self-respect. He added, if you really care to know, he meant to clear the upper pasture too. That sounds like something you've heard before. Warren, I wish you could have heard the way he jumbled everything. I stopped to her 2 or 3 times. He made me feel so queer to see if he was talking in his sleep. He ran on Harold Wilson. You remember the boy you had at Maine 4 years since? He's finished school and teaching in his college. Silas declares you'll have to get him back. He says they too will make a team for work. Between them, they will lay this farm smooth. The way he mixed that in with other things. He thinks young Wilson a likely lad. No doubt on education. You know how they fought. All through July, under the blazing sun. Silas up on the cart to build the load. Harold alongside to pitch it on.
Yes, I took care to keep well out of earshot.
Now those days trouble Silas like a dream. You wouldn't think they would. How some things linger. Harold's young college boy's assurance piqued him. After so many years, he still keeps finding good arguments he sees he might have used. I sympathize. I know just how it feels to think of the right thing to say too late. Harold's associated in his mind with Latin. He asked me what I thought of Harold saying he studied Latin, liked the violin because he liked it. That an argument. He said he couldn't make the boy believe he could find water with the hazel pond, which showed how much good school had ever done. He wanted to go over that, but most of all, he thinks if he could have another chance to teach him how to build a load of hay.
I know that Silas one accomplishment. He bundles every forkful in its plates and tags and numbers it for future reference, so he can find and easily dislodge it
could teach him that, he'd be some good perhaps to someone in the world. He hates to see a boy full of books. Poor Silas so concerned for other folk. Nothing to look backward to with pride, and nothing to look forward to with hope. So now, never any different.
Part of the moon was falling down in the west, dragging the whole sky with it to the hills. Its light poured softly in her lap. She saw it and spread her open apron to it. She put out her hand among the harp-like morning glory strings, topped with the dew from garden bed to eaves, as if she played unheard some tenderness that wrought on him beside her in the night.
Warren,
She said,
he has come home to die. You needn't be afraid he'll leave you this time.
"Home," he mocked gently.
Yes, what else but home? It all depends on what you mean by home. Of course, he's nothing to us any more than was the hound. He came a stranger to us out of the woods, born out upon the trail.
Home is the place where, when you have to go there, they have to take you in.
I should have called it something you somehow haven't to deserve.
Warren leaned out, took a step or two, picked up a little stick, brought it back, broke it in his hand, and tossed it by.
Silas has better claims on us, you think, than on his brother? 13 little miles is the road line that would bring him to his door. Silas has walked that far in town today. Why doesn't he go there? His brother's rich, somebody, director of the bank.
He never told us that.
We don't, though.
I think his brother ought to help, of course. I'll see to that if there's a need. He ought of right to take him in, and might be willing to. He may be better than appearances. But have some pity on Silas. Do you think if he had any pride in claiming kin, or anything he looked for from his brother, he'd keep so still about it all this time?
I wonder what's between them.
I can tell you. Silas is what he is. We wouldn't mind him. Just the kind that kinsfolk can't abide. He never did a thing so very bad. You don't know why he isn't quite as good as anybody. Worthless though he is, he won't be made ashamed to please his brother.
I can't think so I ever heard anything.
No. But he hurt my heart the way he lay and rolled his old head in that sharp-edged chair back. He wouldn't let me put him on the lounge. We must go in and see what we can do. I made the bed up for him there tonight. You'll be surprised at him, how much he's broken. His working days are done, I'm sure of it.
I'm not being a hurry to say that.
I haven't been. Go look, see for yourself. But Warren, please remember how it is. He's come to help you ditch the meadow. He has a plan. You mustn't laugh at him. He may not speak of it, and then he may. I'll sit and see if that small sailing cloud will never miss the moon.
It hit the moon. Then there were three there, making a dim road, the moon, little silver cloud, and she. Warren returned too soon, it seemed to her, slipped to his side, caught her hand, and waited.
Warren,
She questioned. It was all